Hey there, welcome to Old Man Runner. In today's video, I'm going to review the running gear of the year 2021. I'm going to look at the gear that impressed, some that didn't impress. Then I'm going to look at the shoe of the year. And finally, I'm going to review 2021 and my targets for 2022. I'm making this video because, well, you know, it's that time of the year and it's time to look back before we can look forward. I've been making review videos for a month, sorry everybody, but it's helpful when you're trying to mask an injury. But in today's video, I'm going to look at clothes, tech, running experiences and shoes. And as always, there'll be chapter markers down below and stuff in the description and links to videos where more of this stuff is looked at in depth. I'm going to start with a word that I find hard to pronounce, apparel or apparel or whatever. Anyway, clothes. I'm going to do those first, some of which I haven't reviewed in detail. I bought a lot of socks in 2021. I have 30 pairs, beat that Imelda Marcus. I have tried all sorts of ones just to see what they were like. My favorite sock is this, the On Running mid sock. I bought this in Chicago on the eve of the marathon, and for some reason, despite promising I wouldn't try anything new on the day, I ran in the marathon in them. And one of the reasons I did was I typically like low socks. I really like low cut socks. But when you're running a marathon, it's a long distance, obviously, and I was a bit afraid of chafing. And these come just high up enough on my ankle that I really liked it. I don't know why I like the idea that there's a left sock and a right sock, but somehow I really do. And when I find a pair of socks that are the same sock left and right, they don't seem to interest me as much. I mean, I have no reasoning for this, but it's just the way it is. But these ones I really liked. As I've said in a previous video, there's a tiny little hole in them, even though I haven't worn them very much. But these will get a good outing. Curiously enough, I have a longer pair of the On Running socks, but I didn't really take to those. So I'm going to try the shorter ones, etc. But they were the best sock I had in 2021. If you think I'm bad with socks, I have 25 pairs of shorts. All are flawed, at least in my experience. I haven't found one pair of shorts that does everything that I want it to do, which is largely relatively simple. But anyway, it turned out that this year, I made a video about shorts ages ago, and it turned out to be incredibly popular. I think it's got about, well, compared to my regular views. So I'm going to make another view about, I've been buying shorts to beat the band, but I'll go through them all in a separate video. But suffice to say, there's not one pair of shorts that I'm really happy with. I'm not as obsessed about running tops. I mean, there's lots of ones I like, particularly ones by Soar Running. But also, this is really super. This is a NewBalance Heat Gear. I don't wear it running very often, but I wear it hugely going out and various things. It's really comfortable. Fits really well. It's got a nice pocket up here. It's got a very interesting zip because the neck piece has got a zip at the top and the bottom, so you can make the hole as big as you like and wherever you like. Fits really nice. I probably would wear it more if I could pull the arm sleeves up a bit, but they have little hooks as well. It's a really super piece of kit. So that is one of the longer sleeves I use. Most of the t-shirts I have, I've got a whole amount of Under Armour ones. I think I've got a load of t-shirts. I like nearly all of them. I'm going to review in detail the Soar Running ones because somebody asked me to, because I've got five or six of those. But I like a lot of the Under Armour t-shirts and a variety of ones. This is by Stay Sky. I haven't actually run in this yet, but I'm planning to in about 20 minutes. One of my favorite ever videos that I made was about running caps, and I bought a variety of them in 2021. I wear them to keep the sun out of my eyes. My eyes are very sensitive to the sun, and also keep the rain off my glasses. So typically I wear them all the time. I didn't used to until Paul pointed out it'd be a good idea, and since then I haven't really taken them off. I particularly like the ones I bought this year. I bought some Sprints hats. They're really comfortable, they're really lightweight, and I really love the design. These are Jaguars. I have a lovely one of Chicago, but Quinn has it on his head over there. Didn't want to disturb him. But they're super caps. I might make another video, I don't know, at some point in time. But yeah, Sprints, really super. I didn't buy a huge amount of gloves in 2021. I like gloves, but I'm not as obsessed as I am with the other stuff. But I bought these ones. They're Brooks Draft hybrid glove. I thought they're from their Carbonite range, but they don't seem to be. But basically, it's a mitten you can fold over. And they're good, lightweight protection. If it was very cold, these won't do. But for my kind of urban running in moderate temperatures, where I'm just trying to be seen, yeah, these are really good. Very happy with them. I like arm sleeves. I've got a variety of them. I find them Really useful when the weather, actually today, I mean, it's, where are we now? We're the 29th of December. It's in Ireland. I'm going to pair a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, might wear arm sleeves because it's just suddenly the weather is pretty nice today. But these are by Soar Running. These are these are just called sleeves. These are pretty good. These are the Elite 2.0 by Soar Running. Very good. They're tailored. They fit very well without being too tight. These ones I really liked. I think I mentioned them in last year's video. They're by Unsanctioned, but they have little slots for gels. So I actually wore these in a marathon I ran in the docks in February. And you can slip the gels in, and then as you get finished with the gel and as the day warms up, you can take the whole lot off. Really good idea. Might be wearing these in a marathon pretty soon. They're really good. It wouldn't be 2021 without masks. So this is the Under Armour mask. This is their sports mask. I have quite a few of these. I think I have at least 4 because I wore these during the marathon I ran, not this year, previous year, I think. And I wore 4 of these, changing them all the time. Really good mask. When I went to the Under Armour store in Chicago trying to buy more of these, they didn't have them in stock. So I've given up on those kind of stores. But you can buy them online and you can buy them in various colors. And they've also recently, at least recently online in Ireland, produced the lightweight version, which is really nice. I got them in gray and I got them black. And yeah, very easy to put on and very easy to wear. There's a little metal band. Yeah, these are super. So I think I got another 4 pairs of these. Glass is probably fogging up a little bit. But yeah, they're super. In terms of the best piece of apparel, whatever, best bit of clothing I got all year, the ones that changed everything for me in lots of ways, are these Under Armour. Now, I think these are underwear, but they call them shorts now anyway. But the thing is that they've got a slot down the side for taking your iPhone or any phone you've got. But I've got the 12 Pro Max, which I bring. I think it's really good to go and wear. Bring a phone with you. You never know when you're going to fall over, get injured, need to call a cab, an Uber, whatever, or a friend. I also like to take some photos when I'm out, and so it's really handy. And because they're in essentially the liner, I can wear any shorts or tights over them without having to worry about putting the phone in the tight or the short that's over them. So yeah, I've got about 4 or 5 pairs of those. They have various versions on the Under Armour site, lots of different colors. Tech. Okay, I bought a lot of tech because I'm a GLF, which stands for gadget loving, as my uncle used to say. You can guess the F. But anyway, I bought a lot of tech. Most of it is that side of the table, but nonetheless, I did buy some. The best thing I bought this year was the Course Pace 2. It's a super watch. They're continuously improving it. I'd hoped they'd bring out a web browser. Guess what? They did. It's on limited release for the moment. I got a release of it. I'll try and review it at some stage. But I think it's going on full review or full release in the next couple of days. So a tremendous running watch. It seemed to work for Eliud Kipchoge. So if it works for him, it'll certainly work for me. The most innovative product I got in 2021, which may not have been released in 2021, was this, the Roll Recovery R8 Plus. I got it in red. I got it direct from the States and shipped in. You can get it here in Ireland, but I wanted it in red, and that was the only way I could get red one, was to order it direct. I'd seen it in Chicago at the fair before the marathon, and I had a go, and I thought, I really like this, but would I use it? I had a foam roller. I've never really used it. I mean, I keep thinking about using it, but I don't use it. And I thought this might be it's hard to believe, but I thought it might be too gadgety for me. But anyway, after I picked up a very tricky left knee injury, I decided I had to do something. So I spoke to my physiotherapist, Fergal, about this thing. I don't think he'd heard of it, but he was telling me about the benefits of it all. Anyway, I ordered it. I've used it every single day since. I bought a foam roller. I used it once just for the sake of it. Now, although they call these foam rollers, these are like concrete. This is not even remotely compressible. So that was the most innovative product that I did. It's really easy to use. If you were really serious into foam rolling, you might need a foam roller as well, but it's really, really super easy to use. You clamp it either side of the muscle and go up and down. And I might make a full video if I can make it interesting, if I think of something interesting other than that to say about it. But yeah, delighted I bought it. About $200. The only thing I can't really do without that I bought it the year before, are the Ride and Running Project Rudy glasses with the prescription inserts. Fantastic. I'll probably buy another pair if I popped in and they were available somewhere. But they are really, really fantastic. Super comfortable, very lightweight, and the prescription is perfect. I can read the watches, I can read the signs. Yeah, singly to one. Okay, you need shoes and stuff like that, but I couldn't do without these. These have been absolutely fantastic. The biggest running related disappointment of 2021 was Janji's move to Europe. They made this announcement that they were coming to Europe, but they came to Europe geographically. They located in the UK. So geographically they're in Europe, economically they're not. So if you want to buy from them, and I do, and I did, the prices are in EU, in euro. The site looks like you get through a European link. You do all that in tiny, tiny print at the top, which I didn't see. But I realized once they came, I had to pay a huge amount of duty on them and extra transportation cost. It was a large pain in my butt. Now, the reason it is because I really love Janji's stuff. They have great customer service. The customer service is really nice both there and in the United States. But it was such a disappointment. And also in Europe, there's limited stock. It turns out it probably was being just as cheap to buy off the US site. So Janji, great. I mean, if anyone in the UK, Janji make great stuff. Well done. Hallelujah. You're in luck. All of us in Europe, just go to the US site. There's more variety, more stock. Having said that, the one thing I bought that I've barely been out of since I bought them was the Transit Tech pant by Janji. They're fantastic. If you're on their site and you want to get some of these. Again, I'm going to review long pants sometime in the new year. I dealt with a lot of customer service this year. Sometimes you're just trying to find out basic facts about stuff. Sometimes something goes wrong in an order or whatever. Sometimes you totally screw up. I mean, I totally screw up. So I did that with a sore running order and they were just fantastic. I emailed the customer service and they were fantastic. So thanks to Alex and Rob beforehand in sore running. Yeah, great customer service. The worst by a long way was Nike. I know they're huge. But God, guys, you're selling so much stuff. Get some decent customer service. There's a bot, and I ended up in this long conversation about a bot trying to find out stack heights. I got nowhere after he told me. This bot told me I was so important to him. I was so valued. I was so blah 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 blah. Useless. Then I ordered a pair of shoes for my Jack 2.0. So I ordered a pair of Alpha Flies that we're going to test, and I ordered these, and they didn't arrive. Then I found out that they'd been sent back. So they somehow came to Ireland through the long chain and then they just went back. And you have to find this out yourself. And then you contact them. I spoke to a person who was very helpful, but pretty useless. Really nice person. It wasn't their fault. They went through all the stuff. I was a great person, a valued customer, all this sort of stuff. But ultimately, I had to cancel my entire order. Even though I'd paid for the order, didn't cancel it. They told me they'd refund me in 7 days and then had to buy the whole thing again. And then the guy says to me, would I like to pay for express service? And I said, you're asking me to pay for express service. This thing has taken, you sent it to Ireland for no fault of mine. It's gone back to somewhere in Europe. And you're now saying to send it to me again, you're asking me, will I pay for express service? So Nike, your customer service is crap. If you're going to be a world-leading company, you need world-beating customer service. You're nowhere near it. Ooh. Let's talk about running experience. I had some great ones. I ran 3 marathons. I did 3 challenges with Con, which I enjoyed immensely. And I did a 5K in Chicago. The best experience, running experience, I suppose, overall, is Chicago. Not necessarily the race, just the whole thing is wonderful. I love Chicago anyway. I love running in Chicago. I love deep pan pizza. I love Goose, all that, Goose Island, all that stuff. It was great. Just the whole thing. The one thing I would recommend, if any of you are going to Chicago, run the Abbott 5K the day before. There's more downtown running. You're probably under less pressure to perform in a time, so you can look around. I remember running down this straight, and you run under a bridge, and there's a train going across, and the driver is just slowly looking out at all of us, thinking, what are they doing? It was fantastic, the Abbott 5K, and it also gives you a really good grounding as to what's likely to happen the day before in terms of setup. So yeah, that was a wonderful running experience, and ignoring the marathon, running in Chicago is fantastic. One thing I was surprised about when I did the run was there was very few Irish flags, and I thought, it's just Chicago, where they dyed the river green, surely they. Anyway, I saw almost none, maybe 2 or 3. It turns out I think I was the fastest Irishman home, simply because nobody could go because of coronavirus and various things. But anyway, I got to go. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, it was just a bit, but when I noticed I'd love to do the Shamrock, is it Shamrock Shuffle? Anyway, it's on St. Patrick's Day, I think, or that weekend. I have the pictures and it's green everywhere. And that'll be a lot of fun, but I'm not sure it'll work with my schedule. But that's definitely on my bucket list. My favorite race was racing Con Braided Greystones. I lost, but that was good practice for Chicago, where I lost again, but to many thousands of people. It was really enjoyable. I mean, I was in great form. I was running along. I wasn't trying to go too fast because Chicago was coming up just afterwards. I didn't want to risk an injury, but it was just wonderful. It was really wonderful. Con beat me very well. Well done, Con. Chapeau, blah, blah. But yeah, that was my favorite race. I just loved every second of that. My best performance was when I ran in Hoth, when I ran against Con. That was great. I thought I'd be absolutely spanked, but I wasn't. And I just ran really well. You know, one of those days where you're just running kind of out of yourself. So that was probably the best run. The most zen moment, the one where it was just the Athlone to Mullingar marathon I ran with my friend Paul, was just fantastic. I think there's 7 kilometers in a straight line. There was nobody around. It's an old rail track, hence a straight line, and there's not much up gradient. It was just running for running's sake, which I absolutely love, and I'm hoping to repeat in a couple of weeks when I'll make a new video of that. But yeah, that was just pure zen. It was just fantastic, where you're just sort of running along. There's only one way to go. One of the things I didn't like about Chicago Marathon was where you've got a giant tall building, you know you to finish at, but it's at your back and you're running away from it, and then you're going that way, and all of that I found mentally really tough. Athlone to Mullingar, you're in Athlone, there's Mullingar. There's only one way to go. So that was fantastic. I bought a lot of shoes in 2021, probably more than, well, I certainly bought more than I needed. There were no bad shoes, but there were some uninspiring shoes. This is probably the most uninspiring shoe I got. The On-Running Cloud Flyer Waterproof. It does absolutely nothing for me. Maybe it's the color. I don't know. It just, I mean, I can get from A to B in it, but that's as much as I can say about this particular shoe. I also got the Uprated Cloud Stratus, and I know some of you really loved it, but it didn't really do anything for me either. There was a couple of shoes that really did stuff for me though. So we'll go in kind of reverse order. The Atreyu base model, The Battle Lies Within. I adore this shoe. I really love what Atreyu are trying to do. This is my favorite. I like it so much that I rarely run in it. I'm trying to keep the mileage low. I only run on really sunny days in this when I'm feeling really good, and it makes me feel really good. Yeah, I have to be in really good form in terms of that. There's not much cushioning, but yeah, I try to keep pumping these out. These are just, particularly this colorway. I absolutely adored this one. I mentioned that I had not much love for the On-Running Cloud Flyer Waterproof, but I have a huge amount of love for this shoe, the Cloud Venture Waterproof. This is the second version. I think it's the third version, but the second one I have. In the first one, my beautiful dog, Jasper, is running around the background. He sadly didn't make it through 2021, which is, well, I won't go into how sad that makes me, because it's, anyway, very is the short answer. We won't digress too much into that at the moment. Suffice to say, he is dearly missed, so much so that I go every day to the same beach without him. But I walk in these great, comfortable shoes. Strange enough, they don't seem to take much of the dirt. I mean, there's lots of dirt, but it seems to slough off this. I think it's Glacier White. Wonderfully comfortable shoe to walk in, and super comfortable to run in on ground that has a big give in it. If there's no give in the ground, like tarmac or asphalt or one of those things, or concrete, then it's a bit hard and uncompromising. But on something like the beach or on a trail, it's a really super shoe. I'll be buying the various versions of that until the end of time. But my shoe of the year is this, the Asics Metaspeed Sky, a wonderful shoe to run in. This I ran the Chicago Marathon in, and it's I was training in it the other day. It's full of gunk. Usually I try and clean the shoes up for these, but it also has an interesting partner in the Metaspeed Edge. I think this is not as good for me as a shoe, but I actually ran my Hoth race in this and loved running the shoe. So I'll probably run a little bit more in this and a lot more in this. Wonderful shoe. Great idea by Asics to try 2 different shoes, and yeah, I think this is just fantastic to run in. One of my goals for 2021 was to get through it. I did that, but I have an improved goal for 2022, which is get through it uninjured. That was a deep flaw in my argument for 2021. This year I ran slightly less miles than last year. I ran 2,400 kilometers or 1,500 miles, but I did do 3 marathons in that, and there's another one coming up with a bit of luck in a week and a half. Anyway, it was less running than last year, and I probably will do a little bit less next year. I thought, three marathons this year. I thought maybe I ran too many marathons, but I signed up for 3 more next year. So we'll just see. I'm taking it easy in the next one. It's just for fun. And I suppose the overall aim of 2022 is to make better videos, better edited, better running in them, more entertaining. Yeah, that's the challenge. Make better videos. The best thing in 2021 was, of course, you guys. That's what makes all this the fun, is the interaction in the comments and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, I do a lot of thanks. I'd like to thank my partners in crime, Con, Quinn over there, and the Jack 2.0. We'll be doing more with him and more with Con and more with Quinn. This year, I ran a lot with Liam, so thanks, Liam, for all of the running help. And I know you're about to knock on the door, so I better wrap up this video. And Paul, it was great that inviting me to do that the marathon between Athlone and Mullingar. It was just stunning thing to do. You get to my age and you don't get through it without the medics. Dr. Richard Blake, my physio Fergal Howard, it was fantastic, and my knee surgeon Ray Moran, who I'm about to see in a couple of weeks, figure out exactly what's going on. But to all of you who watched, who commented and interacted and suggested, it was fantastic. I'm sorry, it's been a whole month of just repeats. But it's really handy when you've got a knee injury, yeah, and you can't push it. So you gotta, anyway, yeah, hopefully I won't be getting another injury as bad next year, but there'll be something else that come along, another frozen shoulder, who knows. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you did, it'd be great if you hit the like button. There'll be lots of stuff in the description below, and as always, I'll happily answer any questions that you put into the comments. There'll be a big blue subscribe button popping up there, and some related videos there. Thanks for watching. Until next year, just keep running along. Happy New Year, everybody.